In this video I'll show you how to find the distance between 2 points on the xy plane. So let's say we have point A with the coordinates 2, 4 and point B with the coordinates 6, 1. How can we find the distance between these 2 points? In other words, how far is this point away from this point? Now, when we add 2 perpendicular line segments to this line segment AB, we get a right triangle, right? Let's call this point C. If we knew the lengths of these 2 sides of the triangle, it would be very easy to calculate the length of the hypotenuse of this triangle with the Pythagorean Theorem. So what we're going to do now is to find out the lengths of these 2 line segments to get the distance from A to B. But how do we know the length of these 2 sides? Do you have an idea? Feel free to pause the video and think about it. The distance from the y-axis to point B is 6. And the distance from the y-axis to point A is 2. So the distance from point C to point B is 6 minus 2, which is 4. Does that make sense? You can check this by adding 2 to 4, which is 6. Now we can do the same to find the length of this side. I really encourage you to pause the video and try this on your own. Finding the length of this side is similar to finding the length of this side. We take the distance from the x-axis to point A, which is 4, and then we subtract the distance from the x-axis to point C, which is 1. So we get 4 minus 1, which is then 3. Now we are all set for the Pythagorean Theorem. We know the length of this side of the triangle, and we know the length of this side of the triangle. The Pythagorean Theorem says that AB squared equals AC squared plus BC squared. So we get 3 squared plus 4 squared. 3 squared is 9 and 4 squared is 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. So the length of AB is 5. In other words, the distance from A to B is 5 units, which is what we are looking for. Let's say we want to write down what we did as a formula. We know that this is the x-coordinate and this is the y-coordinate from point A, and that this is the x-coordinate and this is the y-coordinate from point B. We have to distinguish between point A and point B. So let's use these little subscripts. x1 and y1 are the coordinates of point A, and x2 and y2 are the coordinates of point B. Now, what did we do to find the distance between these 2 points? we subtracted x1 from x2, which is this length, and we subtracted y1 from y2, which is this length. Then we applied the Pythagorean Theorem. So we squared this length and added it to the square of this length. After that, we took the square root, right? So the distance formula is d equals the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Let's do another example and use this formula. Find the distance between d 5, 4 and e 1, 2. This point has the coordinates x1 and y1, and this point has the coordinates x2 and y2. Let's plug in 5 for x2, 1 for x1, 4 for y2, and 2 for y1. Five minus 1 is 4. 4 squared is 16. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 squared is 4. 16 plus 4 is 20, so we get the square root of 20. The square root of 20 is approximately 4.5. So the distance between point D and point E is approximately 4.5 units. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. This video is what I did for you. If you want to do something for me, hit the bell button, like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and happy learning, everyone.